to my daddy's live show, Technically Speaking Live. It is the best show ever, in my opinion.
It's a new day with Technically Speaking Live show number 73? Question mark? I think it's episode 73, and this show is new, and it is a hot mess, and I think this one is the Hot Mess Express. Stats are going to keep me honest. Give me a nod. No picture. Perfect. That's awesome. No picture. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. I need to know if I can even be seen. Nope. Cool. That's great. This is fantastic. No idea if I can actually be seen. I have Josh backstage. Josh, could you see the...
Hang on.
Wait.
I can see it on my phone.
Oh, that's good. Stats, you're a terrible executive producer.
Bite me. I'm gonna refresh the...
Oh, aggressive. Aggressive.
Now I can see you.
Awesome. Now let's do a proper intro. Welcome to episode 73 on Technically Speaking Live, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. in Australia somewhere. There you go. I'm right. Very interesting show today. I'm doing the show via StreamYard after I have rebuilt this show. No joke. 3 different ways. I logged in and got access to the beta for Streamlab, which, by the way, is my preferred choice because it just looks so much better. I love the system that they have there. I'm really going to be testing out the live stream capabilities on Streamlabs for the Mac, which is a new open beta. Well, not open beta. I had to get access to the Discord. The second thing is I had the show regularly built in OBS. And then I had Streamlabs, and then I was trying to get guests on the show because I have a guest that's sitting backstage right now waiting to go on the show. It's Josh Smith from Gotta Be Mobile, and also a good friend of mine. I wanted him to be on the show, so I had to figure out a way in order to pull this thing off. So now I'm streaming via StreamYard because I was like desperate. So I've completely rebuilt everything literally on the fly between the hours of 4:30 and 7:30, trying to figure out desperately how to do intros, overlays, backgrounds, everything that I normally have because I like the way that the live show normally looks. And it's been a challenge. I'm learning, but it's doing a thing and I'm figuring it out. So we do still have Stats in studio. Of course, Stats, say hello to all the peeps.
Hello, everyone, and good evening.
I legit cannot hear Stats other than the fact that I have to listen through my headphones. It's kind of a mess. So I'm going to go to the comments really quick. Hi, friends. Ben Hameen, he called me right before the show and was like, hey, man, I got to tell you something. And then completely forgot what he was going to tell me. Thanks, Ben. Miss Sheila, as always, thank you for coming to the show. Miss Kathleen Garrity, thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy the gym. The mayor is in the house. Do it live. Christopher Swain, I am going to do it live. This is, what is it from that? I know it, but what's the Sting? That's it. We're going to have Sting to play us out. This thing sucks. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. Tech for Your Needs. Welcome to the show. Normally, I would get into just like a brief monologue. I'm not going to do that today. I want to bring in Josh immediately and just kind of do the show live. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Stats, sorry, you're going to miss out on some of this conversation. A bit of a delay. Ladies and gentlemen, say hi to Josh Smith from Gotta Be Mobile. Josh, welcome to the show, my friend.
Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Josh Smith. Hopefully you guys can hear him. Please let me know in the comments if you cannot hear him. Josh, my friend, how's things?
Going pretty good.
Yeah?
Been busy. Shot 7 videos today.
Well, give us a little bit of a teaser of what are some of the videos that you've been shooting?
iFrogs, little Power Beats kind of competitor, true wireless, do really good with sweat.
I love that.
Mophie charger with, this is wireless here.
Whoa.
You can these are wireless and USB-C, so pretty handy for $80.
Ooh.
Built-in lightning cable for fast charging. What? 18-watt power delivery.
How much is that thing?
That's the top of the line, $99.95, starts at $59.95. If you don't need an integrated cable, And it also charges by lightning, so you don't need another cable.
Although they should be USB-C, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're an iPhone person, and then I shot my favorite car charger because this bad boy is $30 and it will charge up to a 16-inch MacBook Pro from Hitachi.
Okay. Let's see what else.
And what else?
I love the fact that he's going over what.
A travel dock.
Wait, is that
And then I
USB? Is that USB-C travel dock?
Yeah, it's from OWC. It's a USB-C travel dock. Cord ties up in the bottom. 54
So for the folks out there, OWC is a really big brand out there. If you do have Apple pieces and parts, OWC is definitely one that you would want to trust with that. I love the work and the stuff that they have out there. I would even trust them with a Pixel 4 or a Pixel Book or something along those lines. Anything USB-C, I would actually trust from OWC. Okay.
And then I got 2 other things in for review. A Wise smart lock that goes over your deadbolt. And a new thermostat.
Dude, you got like the mother load today.
Alexa built in.
Ew.
Okay.
Are you an Alexa guy or a Google guy?
I have both.
What's your preference?
Alexa.
What?
Sorry, Scott.
Wait.
That is wrong, sir.
Was that the one that says that is wrong, sir? Yes, I nailed it. Yes. Gigi says that you're wrong, sir.
I don't think I can argue with Gigi. I could argue with you, but not with Gigi. So
that's true. It's very true. Richard says you're having a dialogue, not a monologue. Yeah, I kind of went off the. So first of all, I am assuming that's the Hot Mess Express. Yeah. I always go off the rails. Richard, when you watch the show, you'll just know that I don't do anything right. I make it up as I go, or as was said earlier, do it live. And that's what we're doing. Josh, how you are a traveler, my friend. You are like a world traveler. What are some of the trips that you have coming up?
So assuming nothing gets canceled, well, I'm heading to Houston to do a road trip. I'm going to fly down, and Toyota is providing a RAV4. And going to check out some space stuff in Houston. A road trip over to South by Southwest.
Okay.
Wash my hands a lot.
Ew. Wash your hands a lot.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to wash your hands.
You're supposed to wash your hands regardless of coronavirus.
No, I think it's new. I'm pretty sure this is a new development.
How long? How many seconds? Okay, hang on. How many seconds are you supposed to wash your hands? I know the answer to this.
Like twice through happy birthday.
You literally go, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Josh. Happy birthday to you. The answer is 30 seconds.
I'm not saying happy
really
birthday
supposed
to myself. I pick someone whose birthday is close, and I sing happy birthday to them.
It's supposed to be, I believe, 2 minutes, but we're not surgeons here, so 30 seconds is usually good enough.
I watched a Jimmy Kimmel special on it.
Jimmy Kimmel.
But so South by Southwest for a panel about remote work. Check out a couple cool things. If it's still on, go to some activations. Going to see what's what. It'll be my first South by Southwest. I've been wanting to go for years.
Okay.
And then I have the New York Auto Show in April to see some cool new cars, assuming that's still on. I've heard they've canceled a couple auto trips already, so we'll see.
Okay.
And, a couple other things kind of trying to get put together, but travel logistics are what they are.
Miss Kathleen says that everybody and their brother is singing happy birthday in the bathroom. A Miss Patti Smith has joined and says, hello, Josh.
Oh,
I'm not sure who Patti.
Mom.
Oh, hey. Hi, Mom. Hello, Mrs. Patti Smith. Your son is a fantastic human being. I absolutely love him to death. He is a wonderful individual, and you raised him right. Kathleen says, I'm not a betting lady, but I would say that South by Southwest wouldn't say South by Southwest is happening. And Richard Clarkson says that they canceled Google I/O, so not a happy camper. And I'm going to jump in there and say, I agree with you, Richard. I'm very sad. And I actually had the ability to go to I/O this year. And I'm super bummed that I am not going. I was very excited about this. It would have been the first I/O that I got a chance to go to. And alas, I will not be attending because coronavirus. And I blame, of all people, the Woz, Steve Wozniak. Josh, did you hear that Steve Wozniak was patient zero?
I think they clarified that she just had pneumonia or something.
Oh, are you serious? That changes my narrative. That changes my narrative.
Either it was an honest mistake or it was Woz trolling the entire internet. And I'm kind of leaning to. I did get a picture taken with Woz once. So
are you serious?
Yeah.
You've met the Woz?
I've met the Woz.
What's he like?
I don't know. He was on a panel. I literally was like, "Hey, can I have a picture?"
You didn't.
But he was interesting to watch live.
Did you give his autograph?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
I'm very disappointed right now. Patti, I would like to take back my statement about your son. I have been trying to actually pull up show notes. Like I'm having a conversation. You did? I think for whatever reason, my keyboard's completely locked up on my MacBook. Guys, I cannot do a live show without some type of technical issues at all. I'm pulling it up. Are you ringing? Yeah,
it's a home phone.
Oh,
old school.
Okay, all right. Let's get to some of the different. Oh no, Hashimoto. Okay, Hashimoto, not the disease. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who created the Konami code recently passed away. And Josh, let me ask: do you know the Konami code?
Up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start, select.
Oh, did you know that Homage has created a T-shirt that has that code on it?
I did not.
I feel like I really, 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 really need to get that T-shirt.
I think you do. Are they a sponsor? There should be a sponsor.
Ooh. How do we get that?
It's merch.
Stats, how do we get Homage to be that? Hang on.
You go to homage.com and you order
Shut
it.
up. And you go to homage.com. No, like, do you think Homage would make a Technically Speaking live shirt?
Oh, sorry. I was trying to catch up. I still can't hear Josh, obviously, but
which is technical difficulties because again.
So I think,
$2.
well, we could just call him, ask. Actually, have your wife ask because she has gotten the best results out of Homage of any of us over the years.
I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, Ryan Vessler, their founder, he's a great dude.
I know.
I mean, first of all, y'all know how much I love Homage, so that nothing like changed.
If nothing else, maybe we could ask them to do a limited run just for us that we could then either auction off or give to your biggest supporters or just wear.
Or whoever's on your 73rd live show.
Ad on the back of the shirt.
Oh,
Josh
just said, or who's ever on the 73rd live show. I think Josh is making a play for that. Josh and I, we go way back. Kevin in the comments, actually, we all play golf together at this point. And I got to tell you, Josh and Kevin are sneaky golfers. Sneaky good. Very, very good. I don't care what anybody.
I'm gonna have to pit you against the swing analyzer device that I have in for review.
You have one of those too?
Yeah. You don't?
Dude. What? No, I don't. Dang it. And I won't.
The only problem was it was sent in the middle of winter, and so I haven't had a chance to actually test it out yet because Ohio winters are cold and wet.
That is not optimal. All right, so let's talk about YouTube. Nope. let's talk about the fact that I moved back to the Pixel 4 XL. So recently, Kevin, the Tech Ninja, or Poppy, some would call him, he recently let me borrow one of his OnePlus 7Ts. I think it was a 7T, and it's a fantastic device. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to be putting a video out on the channel, maybe a video or two. The idea of it's still for me, the Pixel. There was some things that I missed about it. Now, the obvious one was I just think that the portrait mode and the pictures that the Pixel 4 takes is just better. I just like the look of them. I think they take better pictures. I'm going to throw up shots that I actually took and filmed with. Excuse me. To show you. Yeah, it was the coronavirus. I didn't cough into my elbow. But I think the Pixel 4 still takes the best photos out of any Android device, and that includes the brand new S20 Ultra, which I will talk about in a minute. And I'm going to get Josh
real quick. How would you compare it to the iPhone? Because you have the Pro Max?
Yeah, I have the Pro Max right here. So I would say that from a portrait perspective, I enjoy the portraits on the Pixel 4 XL far and away better than almost any device. Now, I know the S20 Ultra takes some really good ones, but I've also seen the S20 Ultra take some really, really bad ones. And they do have a software update, which again is another piece that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But I switched back because I found one of the features that I use, two features that I use the most in the Pixel 4 XL, and I 100% believe that I am the minority here. The squeeze feature. The squeeze feature I used significantly more than I thought on the Pixel 4 XL. Yes,
I use the squeeze feature almost every single day.
Yeah, and that's what I meant. I was like,
access my assistant.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was like, I vastly underestimated the fact that I use the squeeze feature all the time, but also the voice transcription, hands down, is significantly better. So like when I'm like speaking a text or doing a Google search or something of that nature, the OnePlus was just significantly behind, if it even registered the words that I was saying at all. Whereas the Pixel was just like, "Yep, I got you, fam," and then just ran with it. Kevin says, "I never used."
Is that a problem on the software side, or is it a microphone difference? Or
I wondered the same thing. I was like, I wonder if it's got something to do. I first thought internet connection. One of the first things I thought is the OnePlus not getting the connection as fast as the Pixel. I put them both right beside a Google Wi-Fi puck that I have, and it was definitely not that. It was I would hit the microphone at the same time, and the Google just picked up that much faster. And like Kevin's saying, is he never used the squeeze feature. I think I'm the odd person out, or one of the minorities in terms of the squeeze feature. And the voice transcription is just so good, and I never realized how much I use the scramscription. What's a scramscription? Stats, can you look that up for me? A scramscription.
Perhaps we figured out why.
Word salad.
Maybe this is why you had issues.
Thanks, appreciate that. That's awesome. Yes, that's could be exactly why. Yeah, evidently I started to stroke out. Do I use the shake function also? I don't know if you mean the shake function, like turn it like this to where the camera will turn. I use that feature all the time as well.
Moto Razr has that.
What the heck was that? Stats is over there doing something that's very like not PG-13.
I was shaking the phone and it didn't do anything.
That was not shaking the phone. That whole little action that you just did was not shaking the phone. For the record, that's why you stay behind the camera. But yeah, the voice transcription, I think I said that right this time, is just so much better. And to me, that was a deciding factor. Also because I just really, truly enjoyed. To get back, long story, the video on the iPhone is just that much better. It is hands down the best video on any smartphone that you're going to get. And I would say it's not even close for the S20 Ultra. 8K, 4K, 10K, doesn't matter. iPhone, just that much better. I don't care. I would fight that to the grave. So that's my personal opinion. Do you have an S20?
I do not have one yet. One should be on the way. Probably delivered by Friday.
Okay. Are you're team iPhone though, right?
Yeah, I go back and forth. I lean towards iPhone for a few reasons, and a lot of them are the reasons that everyone says AirDrop.
Mm-hmm.
I really like iMessage. I used to use the voice transcription or dictation quite a bit. Lately, I'm sending more like voice memos.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're sending, yeah, sending more voice memos.
So, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But some people like those, some people don't. So you have to work around that. You're right, Scott.
Yeah, I'm good.
I like sending you voice memos. Okay.
You do send me voice memos. They're very good. They're very good. They're fun voice memos. I use the squeeze feature all the time, so I don't have to say OKG. Yeah, 100%. Kathleen says I use the squeeze feature all the time because you don't have to say the OK keyword, or as I'm going to do to all of you right now. Okay, Google. Yes, take it.
Didn't get my phone.
I didn't get your phone. I got my phone, and it's everything back behind me is like freaking out. Go away.
Is that a horse noise?
No, that was nope. That was not a horse noise. That was Stats laughing. The best. But yeah, I'll have a video coming out why I still think the Pixel line is the Android line that you would want to choose, just because for me the functionality of the voice, the functionality that I'm getting with the pictures and stuff. Coronavirus just sucks. God, it sucks. I'm looking here because I can't actually. I got to look here for the show notes because I can't get my Mac to work at all, and I don't want to touch anything. Otherwise, the show will break. Apple's restricted travel to China, Italy, and South Korea. Facebook's called off its big F8 developers conference. Google canceled I/O. JP Morgan's curbed all non-essential employee travel. Microsoft, Salesforce, Square, Twitter, everybody and their brother is canceling pretty much everything.
I heard that at least 2 of the big automakers have heavily restricted travel.
Really?
As well. I think it was reported in the Detroit News, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to say who. But seeing lots of conferences getting canceled, lots of concerns. I wrote an article about, because a lot of people now are working remote for the first time. So I wrote an article trying to give some tips if you're working from home for the first time, and trying to figure out if, are people cleaning their gadgets?
No.
Apple is pretty specific about how to clean your MacBook keyboard.
Where can they go find this link? Is it gotta be cleaning your mobile?
No, I didn't write up a cleaning thing. Apple has a support document. Basically, you grab a Lysol wipe. Specifically, they call out Lysol. You wring it out, and then you wipe it across your keyboard.
Seriously?
Yeah. There's a support document on it.
There's a support document that talks about wringing it out.
Yeah, because you don't want, they already have keyboard problems if you have a MacBook that's not the 16-inch MacBook or a MacBook from 2015. So the last thing they want to do is have you, get a tiny piece of your lint or moisture in a keyboard.
Huh. Keyboard's terrible.
I'm assuming that this helps. I use products called Phone Soap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, I have one. They're incredible.
I have a giant one, that you can fit the iPad Pro in.
What?
Yeah, it's a new one. And I don't know, I don't know if it specifically targets coronavirus, but it kills, 99 point whatever percent of things, but with UV light like they use in hospitals. So it can't hurt, wash my hands, sing happy birthday twice, throw my gadgets in the Phone Soap, and spin around.
Birthday. Spin around?
Well, you got to do something while I wait for the Phone Soap to finish.
Yeah, let me jump in the comments here. There's a lot of conversation going on about Google Duo. I have used Google Duo a lot. Usually I normally use it for just video calls, much like FaceTime people are talking about in the comments. But it has so much more functionality than people don't even realize. And Kathleen and I have now discovered the fact that it has that. Now, sounds weird, but you can send notes, audio messages, video messages, picture messages. It's really robust. And I love it. And so Stats and I use it a lot.
Yeah, we were arguing about, or not arguing, but discussing the woes of our 20-minute commutes through Columbus traffic earlier this week. When
that was awful. And so we were stuck in traffic, duo messaging each other, basically talking about how crappy the traffic was. But the idea is I can send him a picture, I can send him a video, much like Instagram stories, but for an individual. And then if I need to,
without putting it on Instagram where Facebook can take it.
Yeah. So we give it to Google. And so, there's that. But the idea is Duo is shockingly powerful. And I'm glad I'm starting to see it. Samsung actually basically made it a requirement. It made it an app that came installed on the Samsung devices that they have, which I think is fantastic. But so Kathleen and I have been duoing back and forth, enjoying what the app has to bring. And it was really, really funny because one of them was like, oh my gosh, this app can do this thing. And I was like, yeah, the app can do the thing. Yeah, it can do that. Now she's going to yell at me. So, hey, whatevs.
She's 3 hours in the past. We don't have to really worry about it.
Future. No, past?
She's in California.
So, that's right.
So it's not 8 o'clock there. So she's in the future.
So I'm in the future. The lotto numbers tonight are 3, 7, 14, 21, 28, and 35.
Who wins on The Bachelor, Scott?
Who wins on The Bachelor? His name is Matt. No idea what's going on with The Bachelor. Matt? Is that a person? Is that the name? Is that the guy? It'll be...
I don't even know if that show's on right now.
Amelia. Is it a guy finding a... Can somebody jump in and tell me? Is it a guy finding a girl?
That's usually what The Bachelor is. Then The Bachelorette is
so
a girl choosing a guy.
I don't keep track of reality TV.
That's just kind of like the definition of Bachelor and Bachelorette, though.
God, I'm so glad I invited you both to the show. Jeez, it's so great to have you guys on. God, I love it so much.
You're just gonna hit play on the outro music, and I'm just gonna drop off. Like, hey,
I could just kick you out anytime. It's really okay. It is what it is.
Wow. Better not say the wrong thing.
I would say that I'm going to switch and tell you different types of things. WhatsApp gets dark mode. Did you know that? I haven't got dark mode yet.
It hasn't turned on for me. I saw that news. I was hoping to see that. You know what? I would really love to have dark mode, but it will never get dark mode because I think it's been just basically abandoned. Hangouts. Google Hangouts.
God, I love Hangouts. Hangouts is such a great app.
It was. I still have literally one person that uses Hangouts, so I have to use Hangouts.
You have one person using Hangouts?
Yeah.
Why do they use Hangouts?
They like it.
Use Duo or Allo.
Allo? Vera?
Yeah. No,
Hello.
Hello, Governor. Okay, let's talk about some of the different things going on. Coronavirus has pretty much ruined everything. All tech things, which was amazing, are now completely gone. Let me go to the show notes that we got. Oh gosh.
Oh, I wrote about some Apple stuff today.
What'd you write about?
Supposedly a new Mac Mini coming soon, according to CoinX.
Oh, you want to talk about that sweet, awesome Photoshop job of the Pixel 4a? That's really just a Photoshop job of the 4XL camera bump and an original OG Google Pixel.
So it's not real?
No, it's not real. Everybody, like GSM Arena, which is not a really great place to read your stuff on, talked about, hey, they have this sweet, awesome, like, this is what a 4A looks like. Looks like a hole punch up in the upper left-hand corner, and then what would be the back of a Pixel 1. I don't buy that 100%, and it looks like it's just a really bad Photoshop job. Yeah.
I get so many emails. It's like official renders, and they're not official. Someone has just done a Photoshop job. Sometimes it's great, other times it's not. But they send the email out as like, oh, this is official. Like, why don't you share it? And it's like,
so
clearly
okay,
it's not official.
You work in, like, I don't want to say print because that's not really the right way, but you work
with words.
Yeah, you work with words, not necessarily just video. You do a lot of video, but you also do a lot of words. Is that whole, like, what's the point? Let me ask, is like, people say like, all right, I'm gonna go send this to so and so and they're gonna leak it for me. Like, what's the point of that? Like, what
why do people leak stuff?
Yeah, like, why do they do that? Do they get something from these websites?
Some sites will pay for leaks. We don't pay for leaks. We don't get a whole lot of leaks because a lot of our readers are regular consumers. They're not like super into it. So it can be fed up with internal credit, or it's kind of like why people spy. It's like for money, love, or I don't know. There's like 3 motivations, I think.
Okay.
And so, either get back at the company, seeking credit, seeking money. They just want to feel special.
What's the craziest thing that someone tried to send to you to leak that was real?
This was probably like iPhone 5.
Oh, so a while.
We got, well, I mean, you wanted the craziest. We got a picture of an engineering sample, like cut out of steel that a case maker was using in some province in China to fit cases, and it turned out to be the real look for the iPhone. And so we covered that, got a bunch of links, and then it got picked up by some different news agencies, and the person who sent it to us hadn't stripped the location data. And we didn't strip it because it was a new thing back when the iPhone 5 came out. So I wasn't really thinking about it. And they're like, oh, we tracked it down to this place. Can you confirm that? And so that was probably the craziest in terms of it was real. The timing was right. We got a lot of links and coverage around it, and it turned out to be right, which was great. I had someone tell me when and provide some data about a Mophie battery case for, I think maybe it was the iPhone 6 when they switched to the the new design, and the battery case wasn't coming out, and then they did a Super Bowl commercial, I believe.
Okay.
And so those are kind of, it's been a while because we get approached with leaks, but the last few times we've been approached with leaks has been very close to an event. And a lot of times myself or someone else on our team has already signed an embargo to get a pre-brief. So if you're not familiar with
I was going to say, hit them with what an embargo is, like, give kind of a little bit of backstory.
So anywhere from a few days to a few weeks, maybe a little further. It depends how much the company trusts you and how important the product is. They may give a pre-brief that could be in person, that could be on a video call, or they might even send you a product before it launches. And essentially you're saying, I'm not going to tell anyone about this until a later date. And so if I've already seen and agreed to something with that company, and then someone comes to me and says, oh, hey, we have this leak. Well, I can't do anything with it because I've already agreed to an embargo. Some publications don't do embargoes. We do. It helps us have stuff ready to go when news appears. And especially on the auto side, sometimes it means you actually do get to see the vehicle a month or more before. When I went to the LA Auto Show 2 years ago, I had a couple pre-briefs, so I was able to see the vehicle well ahead. And actually, I wasn't able to drive it, but I could get in, I could feel the materials, and so I could write about it more so than just from a press release.
Okay. All right, I'm going to jump into another story because this goes back to my point. This is going to be a big rant. Be prepared. Here comes the rant. Here comes the pain. So we talked about it before, is the idea of that it is now a software game that we are playing. It is not necessarily a hardware game. And so I have been on the computational photography, the fact that it's software is eating the world, or software is the game that you need to play. And that's why I'm not overwhelmingly, this is going to sound bad, hot take, I guess, is the idea of, I mean, that's cool that the S20 Ultra has, 100x zoom, and it has this crazy number of cameras and megapixels and things like that. But it's a software game. And here's the reason why. The Google Assistant has a brand new option that's out there right now. And that option is called Read It. If you go OK keyword, you can just say, if you're on a web page and you want that web page to actually just be read aloud to you from the assistant, she has the ability to do that. And I can 100% attest to the fact that this works today. So if you have a Pixel or an Android device, I've heard that it's all Android. If you have an Android device, you can say, OK keyword, when you're on a web page and you want her to read, her or however you have your assistant voice, to read you this article, you just say, OK keyword, read it. It will then run through the page really quick and read, while skipping ads, might I add, pardon the pun, read the article to you. It works. It works today. I read an ESPN. Well, I had a ESPN article read to me. And that's just a nice software feature that, again, comes with the Google Assistant.
How does it handle like video and images? Does it read alt text, or is it just skips over them?
I believe it skips over them. I only skipped over an ad, so she just skipped the ad. So in terms of the ads, she skips them. In terms of the videos, I don't know. Great question. She skipped a video and ad in the beginning of the ESPN article, but I don't necessarily know if that's always the case per the website. Maybe per website, not sure. So again, that's a piece of software that you get with Android specifically, and I really, really love that because it's great when I'm, shaving or showering in the morning. The idea is that I can have articles read to me now, and I didn't have that ability before. But take it up one step. How about the fact that Google was able to replicate the Force Touch from iPhone through software, not actually through hardware. So we're on an iPhone where you had like the Force Touch where you press down really hard to do a thing on the iPhone. The Pixel device has the ability to do that with the March update. I believe it's the March update, where it's all done through AI, machine learning, and all software. So I don't have to do a hardware thing. I have to do a software thing. And again, that goes back to the point that software, computational photography, is really where it's starting to differentiate the market, not necessarily the fact that you have like the craziest, biggest sensors on the planet in these different types of phones. Now, if you gave me the ability to take a sensor like that of the S20 Ultra, shove it in a Pixel, and then give me the computational power that Google has, that's a totally different system. And then you're into another realm of computational photography that we've never seen before. And that, to me, is the differentiator. It is a software game. I will fight that to the grave and take it against anybody who wants to argue with me, is the idea of, we're out of the hardware stuff. You can shove more hardware in, but with the hardware that you have, I mean, Google is able to do, and they were able to do a lot with a single camera on the back that a lot of other people could not do with multiple cameras that they had on the back. So
do all your viewers know what computational photography means?
I hope so, because I have preached the fact that computational photography is really what the future is. If you don't go out and Google it, long story short, what computational photography is there's only so much information that you can squeeze into the fact that there's a sensor that's out there inside the actual hardware. But what it's doing is it's picking up on the sensors around you. And this is my general understanding of computational photography. It's kind of running machine algorithms against some of the different pixels and things around it to grab the information out there and make it a little bit better of an image than what it might actually have been. All of this done with like a pixel chip, all of this done inside. So Google has a specific pixel core chip that's on their device that does it. I don't know how Apple does it other than like, what is it, the A12 that's on the iPhone? It's
I mean, they
something
have
specific to that.
their own chips inside. I mean, and that's Apple's big push. You know, you're talking about software, but it does get hardware enabled at a certain point, and that's kind of why we're seeing like Apple wants to develop their own chips for the Mac lineup to take control. I mean, they already have, I think, the T2 chip and the T1 chip are both ARM, so it all goes. It seems like we're seeing a better marriage of hardware and software, although software is the star.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of those things is like it's finally using the software or using the hardware that they have the right way, because before it was like you had these big, great, powerful chips that did what? Now it's well, hang on a minute. I can actually use these chips to do a certain thing. Like I really want them to handle the AI and the machine learning processing of all these images coming in. And I only want this chip to do that particular thing. It's a lot like the Titan security chip for the Pixel line. I really want you to handle security. This is your job. You do this thing, stuff will offload and figure out a way. It's efficiently using the hardware that you have rather than just cramming it full of hardware and just writing inefficient software all over the place, in my opinion. Yes, no?
Yeah. I think that works.
Awesome. Stats, what do you think? Jump in, Stats.
I think you're dead on. I mean, to keep the price points where the majority of consumers are going to be, you're going to have to do it more with software than hardware. Only a certain segment of the buying population, and you might be part of this, is going to pay more than $1,000 for a mobile device that you're going to drop and hand to your kids and take into the bathroom with you. So you do it. Don't lie.
I do it every day.
So
you need a phone soap.
I have a phone soap. Thank you. I have a phone soap. Thank you very much.
If we can keep the price point around that $1,000 mark, but continuously upgrade and improve the camera technology through software, and then you don't have to buy the latest and greatest phone every single year, that's a better winner for the market.
There we go. Stats.
Yeah, I agree with that, because then whether people are keeping their phones longer. I don't have the actual data, but I can tell you based on anecdotal and what we're observing with people buying phones later in the life cycle, people keeping their phones longer, the should I upgrade and even the should I wait. We're already seeing some interest in the 2021 iPhone because, and that may seem counterintuitive, but it's because people, maybe they have an iPhone 10 and they want to see like, okay, well, what's out there past this? Because I'm not upgrading this year because my phone, I've just finally paid my phone off because they probably didn't buy it the day it came out. And so that software ability to add those new features in, and Apple and the Pixel line are really good examples of that happening. Whereas when you get to some other manufacturers on the Android side, you don't have quite the promise or even the reliability of getting software updates that push those new features.
What's the maximum amount of money that you would pay for a phone?
Me?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yep.
I don't know how much is the iPhone 11 Pro Max medium storage size.
Medium
'Cause that's-
storage, about
yeah.
1,300. 1,300.
About that.
About that. Stats.
I mean,
Stats. How much would you pay for a phone? Like, I know the answer to this question. Like, I'm pretty sure. I don't think anything's changed.
No, I'm right around that $1,000 price point.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I should have charged you more for that Pixel 3 you have.
Yeah, well, but I think that's probably my limit of what I can justify personally. And I'll be honest, I'm never going to drop that $1,000 all at once. I'm going to spread it out over time. And, that is why a lot of times I will skip, straight from the OG Pixel to the Pixel 2 or from the Pixel 2 until, it's just because I just don't want to pay that premium every single time a new device comes out.
Is there a feature? Okay, go ahead, Josh.
So the question I have as you talk about your stat point, your price point there is Are you using your phone for like work in terms of shooting video with it, or are you just using it as an average, a regular consumer, like taking pictures and videos of what you're doing?
So I think that's a really interesting conversation. And I've kind of talked about this before as, again, I'm getting into a little bit of a deep thing, is like, I forget almost everything. Stats can attest to the fact that we were just talking about before the show started. I can't remember anything. So like, I have really begun to capture different moments, whether that's video or photo. I'm trying to get better about capturing those moments. I find that the iPhone and the Pixel allow me to do that and then rehash these moments so I don't forget them. So I find myself using much more functionality when it comes to the multimedia aspect, the video, the photo, the audio. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if I had to, this sounds super weird to say about a smart phone, the phone feature, it's outside the top 5, if not the top 10 for me. Is like, I would go, camera, battery life, form factor, screen, apps. Like, I can list a bunch of other things that I would put ahead of the other than, it makes phone calls. I hate answering the phone. Like, I hate being on the phone. I would much rather do like a video chat, a text message string, a Twitter string, Instagram, anything else other than a phone call. And that's why I think like the Pixel side of the house for me really kind of wins over a lot, because I will say this, when I was on the OnePlus 7T from Kevin, I did not have the screen call feature.
Oh,
sweet.
That sucks.
Dude, it was so different.
I'll be honest. It doesn't matter if it's my parents or you or somebody else. If I don't already have my headphones in so I don't have to hold the device to my head, I'm screening that call.
Exactly. Like, I do not want to take the phone call unless I can take it either like via my Bluetooth headphones or some other way. Like, I do not, this sounds so stupid. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I know how childish and weird and stupid that might sound, but like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't use a phone for a phone.
See, I use the phone for a phone a lot. I do a lot of FaceTime audio to connect with people I work with because the call quality is better than a standard phone call.
Yeah.
But the benefit of AirPods, and I mean, a lot of the more recent Bluetooth products is if I get a phone call, I already have in my pocket, whether it's the AirPods Pro that I have in my pocket right now, or the iFrogs that I'm testing out with a case is small enough, I can have it in my pocket. If I get a call, I can quickly grab this and put it in and take the call. Although I would love call screening. On iPhone, we have the unknown call block, but the problem with that is there are a lot of people who you don't have in your contacts who call you, especially if you're going to conferences, if you're traveling, you get, a hotel, a restaurant, you have all of these unknown calls that you do have to answer. And so it's not as good as the call screening option.
I literally just, and I think that he's here. I just got a phone call from the mayor. The mayor literally just called me. And I'm guessing that he might have just called me because he knows that I'm in the show, and he's probably in the comments. My guess is he's probably floating around and he's knowing that I won't answer the call because of course he is. Like, I'm not going to answer the phone call because I don't talk on the phone. I haven't got the chat open because nothing's working, but I'm assuming
the mayor just gave you a nice little winky face.
I figured that might have been the case. There it is. Yeah. I wondered if that was going to be the case. Like, I just don't answer it. Like, it's just not something that I do. I don't look at my phone as that. And
Mr. Mayor, don't worry. If you call me, I will answer your phone.
I mean, I'll answer it, but not during the live show. Come on now. That's the thing. But like the screen call, perfect example. I put in a submission request for a bowling alley and I needed them to call me back. I got the call and Google screened the call for me and then alerted me that, hey, someone is looking to get your attention and this is what it's for, because it goes through the Google Assistant. And then I picked it up and was like, oh, hey, yeah, I'll take that particular bowling alley lane. That's perfect because
a bougie way to line up your bowling alley, but
it's not bougie. It's not bougie. Like, I use the Google Assistants to its fullest potential. That's exactly what it's for. It's like, I don't know this number. I don't want to take the call. Like, oh no, hey, this is so-and-so, and we're trying to get you booked for your bowling. And I was like, oh yeah, I did do the thing. And then, it was, I love it. I love it. That's just me. And I'm bougie. I was just called bougie. I was just called bougie. Okay. The show's been going forever.
Everything.
What?
First time for everything.
Oh, I've been called a lot worse. I've been called a lot worse in my life. So, all right, Josh, we're going to get ready to wrap up the show, but I want to hand over and say, first of all, thank you for coming on the show. This is amazing. Sorry, it was a little bit all over the place.
No, thanks for having me.
Thank you. So tell everybody where they can find you on socials and also where they can find you to read some of those articles and your YouTube videos.
All right. So gottobemobile.com, youtube.com/gottobemobile for the videos. I'm Josh_Smith on Twitter and Josh Notebooks on Instagram.
I will try to figure out, because right now my keyboard doesn't work because of course it doesn't. I will put that all in the description below. So if you're checking out the replay, I will make sure all of that information is out there. Not
and
actually
don't forget
sure
to like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen when I'm at StreamYard at this point, when I cut to something else. Like if I go to do a doobly-doo thing over here, no idea what's going to happen. So Josh, thanks for joining the show. Will not be the last time that Josh joins us on the show. And so I'm going to kick you out at this point. Josh, thanks for coming. Going to remove you from the stream.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Mr. Stats, hit him with your information.
I am at Helix Heinlein on the tweet machine and at Country Smith on the Instagram.
Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at the Scott Peachy, Fuzzy Fruit with an EY on the end, and at Scott Peachy on the tweet machine. And as always, I go out and sing. Sorry I didn't sing today. The whole reason was because I was
stressed.
It was a hot mess express today. It was muy bueno. This is going to get better. This is what the format will be when we have guests on the show. I am thinking about having more of a multitude of guests on the show, where it's going to be not just me and Josh, so to speak. It's going to be, well, I mean, Stats obviously will be here, but it'll be like me and then a whole slew of other guests that you could have on the show. So if there's someone that you would like to see on the show to join us via StreamYard, let me know. Leave a comment, send me a message, carrier pigeon, a thing, maybe. And yeah, so thanks for watching. God knows what this outro is even going to be like. No idea. All right, so I mean, here it goes. You can probably still hear my mic. I'm going to go to, let's do the outro like this with a little bit of music. Okay, I'm assuming you can still hear me. Yep, okay. It's going to cut to this and then cut to the thumbnail, which I think it's working, and I'm still talking over it because it's amazing. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I will check you next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.